What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today's video is going to be episode 2 of me reacting to your guys' gaming setups. I'm actually super excited for today's video. I have some absolutely banger setups to show you guys today. But before we get too far into today's video, if you guys haven't already left a like and subscribe to the channel, please make sure to go ahead and do so. It really helps me out a lot. Also, if you guys want to submit your setups for future episodes, make sure to head to the description of this video and there will be a link in the description for my Discord server. In there, you're going to find a rules section and you're also going to find a submit here section where you guys can submit your setups to potentially be in the next episode. Also, my Discord is super chill, so it's a good time over there anyways. But yeah, I think that's enough for the intro. Let's go ahead and just jump into today's video. Alright, so today we're going to be checking out 5 different setups. I have some setups in here that I think are probably going to be like the best setups in this series, but this is also just episode 2, so I'm sure there's going to be some cooler ones in the future, but I have some bangers today. First, I just want to mention that the last episode was a little bit shorter than like I intended the series episodes to be. I did a little bit better of a job in this episode to figure out what components that people had and what peripherals and what brands they were, and also like PC parts and stuff like that. So we're gonna go a little bit in depth in this episode and we're gonna get a little bit nerdy about like PC parts, but honestly I really enjoy that stuff, so I don't have a problem with it at all. I found it super interesting. Let's go ahead and just jump into the first setup on this list. All right, so the first setup is from my boy joshtechgamer. He's actually a buddy of mine that actually also does kind of like tech content just like me. I highly recommend if you guys check out anyone from any of these episodes, you check out joshtechgamer. I will leave a link to his YouTube channel and probably another social media in the description down below. There will be a link to everyone else also that I feature in this setup video and in future videos in the description. But I will toss a picture on screen just like I do everyone else of his setup. His setup is absolutely crazy. Sorry if I also do have my phone out. I'm gonna be using my phone from now on to kind of like prepare everything, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull up another picture of his setup here. So the first thing I noticed with his setup is the color scheme that he's going for. You guys know, I know that like the pink and the blue, or like the cyan and pink vibes, are honestly like so fire. I believe he has an Aura mouse pad, which is also pretty cool as well, and it honestly just brings the theme together very well. The keyboard kind of matches the mouse mat. You've got the wallpapers, I would assume from Wallpaper Engine, that also kind of matches the theme, and then he also kind of has a white PC that gives it kind of like a neutral vibe, which I also really like. I believe he has a custom built PC, and let's go ahead and just jump into a little bit of the specs of the PC. So in his PC, he has an i7 7700 Intel 7th gen processor. He also has 16 gigs of Corsair memory, which I believe was RGB. He has a GTX 1060 in there. He has a Lipa case, which I don't know if I said that right because I'm actually not familiar with those cases, but the case is very cool. For the motherboard, he's got a Z270X Gaming 5 motherboard. He has a 27-inch Asus 144 hertz monitor, which is super fire. I only have, I believe, 75 hertz monitors, so I would love to get like a 144 hertz monitor in the future for myself. Yeah, the second monitor he has is a LG ultra wide 60 hertz for streaming or editing, which again goes to show you guys that you guys don't really need like the full 144 hertz just to do kind of like video editing and that kind of stuff. I definitely give him props for not like buying 2 144 hertz monitors. Seems a little bit overboard for me, for people who have like a triple monitor setup with like multiple 144 hertz monitors. Like, you're only going to be gaming on one monitor. It doesn't really make sense to have more than one. But for the mouse, he's got a Glorious Model O, which I have. You guys have seen on the channel, a very awesome mouse that I would highly recommend to anyone. I have the Model D in specific, but Glorious just makes amazing mice. Highly recommend. He has a Glorious TKL keyboard. Love the TKL size. I personally absolutely love my TKL. He also has Matrix keycaps on there, so it honestly just really doesn't get any better than that. Also, I'll give you guys a few pictures on screen or show you guys something of his keyboard cables. As you guys know, I'm like a keyboard enthusiast. I love everything that has to do with keyboards, and the keyboard cables that he has honestly is just a huge flex because he has so many fire keyboard cables. I can't remember who actually sold the most recent ones that he just got, but I know he just did a review of some really fire ones that had like custom aviator cables. They were absolutely sick, so if you guys want to go check that out, make sure to click the link in the description and go check out his video. Highly recommend. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the second setup. Now, this setup is actually coming from itsfluffy. As we can see from the picture, they have this sort of like small little minimal setup going on, but I kind of like how they did like everything in this little setup. Got the SteelSeries QCK, I believe it's called, and you also have, I believe it looks like a Model O on there too as well. I believe the Glorious Model O is also a glossy white, but I'm not entirely sure. I personally prefer the matte white, but I can't really tell from the picture which one it is. As you can see here, they have the most fire YouTube channel open on their browser. Got the blue Snowball as well, which is a pretty decent entry-level mic, and you got the big keyboard right there on the desk. Apparently it's a random membrane keyboard from this brand that I actually don't know. I didn't give any advice on the last setup because the last setup is from a YouTuber and he has like an amazing setup and everything like that. But if I had to give any suggestions for this setup, I'd say that blue snowball is probably going to be one of the things you're going to be looking at upgrading in the near future. The snowball is very, very entry level, and even if you upgrade to like the blue Yeti, say, it's going to be a lot better quality than the snowball. Other than that, the setup looks pretty good. I mean, you've already got 2 monitors, so you're on the right track here. I'd say maybe if you get a TKL or a smaller size keyboard like a 60%, it's going to save you so much room on that RID little desk that you already have. It's going to give you a lot of room, and also you could probably manage to fit like an XL mouse pad like I have on mine across the entire thing. And then if you also had a 60%, you'd be able to put that 60% on there with your mouse, and it'd be all like an entire thing would be like a mouse pad. That's what I would suggest, but I know you probably have your own personal preferences. But let's go ahead and jump into the next setup. Now this is coming from Hades Unseen. I hope I did not pronounce your name wrong. I'd have to say the first thing I noticed with this setup is how aesthetic it is and how much RGB is in there as well. Coming from someone that absolutely used to love RGB, and I mean I still like RGB in my setup, don't get me wrong. It looks absolutely beautiful. You got the RGB keyboard, you got the RGB mouse, got the RGB mouse mat underneath, and you also have the RGB fans in the PC as well. I think it looks pretty cool. I can tell it looks like a Logitech C920 up there as well, which is the same webcam I have. Super clean 1 monitor setup. I actually really like this setup a lot. Let me get a list and see what some of the peripherals are. So the PC you guys saw also in the picture is a Ryzen 5 3600 as a CPU. The GPU is a RTX 2070 Super. It's got 16 gigabytes of RAM. Motherboard is the Asus TUF Gaming B450, very common motherboard. Webcam, yep, was a C920, and then microphone is an AT2020 USB cardioid mic. The AT2020 is actually an awesome mic that I'm going to be looking at getting in the very near future. I'm actually going to replace my Blue Yeti, I think, with that mic, so I'm definitely going to be maybe hitting you up and seeing how much you got yours for. And the keyboard is a DK63 mechanical keyboard with Cherry MX brown switches. Personally, I'm actually not a huge fan of brown switches. If you haven't tried linear switches, I would definitely give those a shot. But yeah, this setup, absolutely amazing. If I had any recommendations, which I really don't because your setup is very clean and very organized, which is what I like personally. Like, I really don't have any suggestions for it. I'd say maybe in the future, I don't know if your monitor would support this, but maybe just tossing your monitor on like a 1 monitor arm stand. They're super cheap on Amazon, like 25 to 30 bucks. And it just kind of like cleans up and just gives you like so much more of a clean look. Also, I'd say toss an RGB light right behind the desk, kind of like you see the red glow like right here behind mine. I think that would really brighten up your setup a lot and be like that final touch of RGB that I think would complete it. But that's just, again, my personal opinion. But let's go ahead and jump into the 4th setup on this list, and this is coming from my boy elitewendy. He's always super active on the channel, one of my closest friends that I've actually met going through this whole like YouTube thing. So his setup is absolutely fire. First of all, as you guys notice, he actually has the same mouse pad that I have that I'm actually using right this moment from the mousepad company, and honestly goes super well with his Matrix keyboard as well. And it's not just the normal Matrix keyboard, he actually has the Matrix and Clicks collab, which is absolutely fire. And if I had the money, I would go and buy that keyboard right now. I believe it is available on the Matrix website, so if you guys do want to pick it up, make sure to go ahead and do it. He's got the triple monitor setup, absolutely fire. He's got the PC behind it. He's got the Tower of G Fuel also on the right side of it as well. Honestly, his setup absolutely freaking fire in my opinion. Also, I know he streams at twitch.tv/elitewendy134 if you guys do want to go ahead and check him out. We're trying to get him to affiliate, so make sure to go ahead and just give him a follow. I would really appreciate it. He's got the Blue Yeti also there, which is actually the same mic that I use for like streaming and stuff like that. Awesome mic, highly recommend. His mouse is a Final mouse, which absolutely looks fire as well. And in his PC, he has a Ryzen 5 3600X. And then he has a B55 mobile, again, very popular motherboard, 16 gigabytes of RAM, pretty cool, and then also an RTX 2060. It is a pretty good PC, I'm not even gonna lie. I'd say personally, I don't have any recommendations for this setup either. I'd probably say the next thing you should probably do, again, like the other person, is probably just get some monitor arms. I think it'd really clean up a lot of your setup personally. But let's go ahead and jump into the final setup on this list, and this is actually coming from Cynics. He's got a very simple 2-monitor setup, which I actually do really like the vibes of this setup in particular. I really like the L desk in this setup, just kind of like Wendy's and also kind of like mine. I'm a super big component of the L desk because it gives you like that room to like game, do your kind of work and stuff like that, but it also gives you like a little bit of like a workbench to also do other things and kind of just get away from like all the brightness of the computer like right in your face. But I don't have much to say about this setup. It's very simple, which I actually do like. Also very organized as well. All right, so to get into his computer he's got sitting over there, he has a Ryzen 5 2400, 1650 Super, 8 gigabytes of RAM, a Razer Huntsman Huntsman as a keyboard, and also the Razer Death Adder Elite as a mouse, and then the Yeti Nano as a mic. His PC is actually very similar to mine. I have a 1660 Super in my PC, and I'd say my recommendation for you for next things to upgrade is definitely to toss another stick of 8 gigabytes of RAM in that PC. Your PC will take anywhere from like 1 to 3 gigabytes of RAM just to run its normal like system processes. So that kind of leaves you with like 4 or 5 gigabytes just like to do like gaming and streaming and other things like that. So I guarantee you if you toss another 8 gigabytes of RAM in that PC, it's gonna run a lot smoother. But other than that, very clean setup. I like the Razer mouse and keyboard combo. I was always a big fan of Razer when I first started out as well. Razer Huntsman is a great keyboard that I actually used for a while. But yeah, I think that's about gonna wrap up this episode. If you guys want to check out anyone on this list, make sure to go ahead and show them some support. All links for everyone will be in the description if you guys do want to check out any of their social media or like anything like that. But yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure to go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and also make sure to turn on post notifications so you guys know when all my videos go live. I really appreciate you guys for watching all the way till the end. I will catch you guys in the next video on the channel. Thank you for watching. Peace.